Hey, everybody, and welcome to this episode of How To Tuesday. Today's episode of How To Tuesday may be the most important How To Tuesday that we've ever done, and maybe the most important episode that we will ever do. Today's episode is all about how you can actually take action and move the needle on the fight to preserve the Everglades. I have with me on the phone right now Daniel Andrews from Captains for Clean Water, and he is the number one person I'm going to go to. Daniel, tell us about how what that's the question that a lot of people have on our social media. How do I get involved? What do I do? What's the most important action that I could take? What's your response to that?
So thanks for having me on today, Tom.
Of course.
And it's really a critical time right now. As you can see, just by all the pictures floating around social media, we have we're kind of in a crisis right now. It started as the blue-green algae and Caloosahatchee and St. Lucie rivers. It's a human health issue. It's a quality of life issue. It's obviously a huge problem if you're trying to fish in the rivers. For a couple of weeks in July, we had this toxic algae from the headwaters of the Caloosahatchee right at Lake Okeechobee all the way down to the mouth of the river. We've had it around Sanibel and Pine Island Sound. And now it's being compounded by a red tide that started offshore and is now pushed into our estuary. We're seeing, record amounts of dead sea life. Really, it's been pretty frustrating just to be here witnessing all of it. But the important thing is you can take action right now. We have software that we just got at Captains for Clean Water, thanks to the support of our members and donors. We were able to purchase the software that we can send targeted actions to any elected official in the country, depending what we're trying to do. And right now, we have this bill up in Washington, D.C. And if you've listened to prior podcasts, you've known it's a multi-step process up there. It's not just a one and done in Washington. You have to go through a lot of different committees, a lot of different agencies we have to work with. And right now, the bill that we're working on is stuck in the Senate. So we want your senators, and this is important for people all across the country, not just Florida. Our two Florida senators understand the urgency of this. They've come down here and done tours, but the senators outside of Florida need to know that this is, a critical issue that a lot of Americans care about. So all you have to do is go on to captainsforcleanwater.org. There's a banner right at the top of the homepage to take action. And you just enter your contact information and send a pre-written message to Washington. And it takes about 2 minutes to do that.
Yeah, I did it. And I can tell you that it doesn't take very long. And what I liked about it is that people can take action. You don't even have to know what this bill is called. You don't even have to know who your elected officials are. They've done all the legwork for you. You go and express your interest in this issue. If you're looking at these pictures on the internet, if you are concerned about the water quality in Florida, then all you got to do is go there. I think 2 minutes is very generous. I think it'll take you about a minute to go there, fill out the form, and hit send, and it automatically sends it to the elected official that needs to see this. I think this is the most important request we've ever asked of any of our listeners or our fans or followers. And if you guys could just take this action, it would mean, well, Daniel, what would it mean? What does it mean when we get more people to take action?
Well, there's a lot at stake right now. And, over the last 4 weeks, we've had, we've sent almost 50,000 emails to the Senate. And what that has meant is that we've been contacted by senators and staff of senators to, keep us up to date on the process. And it also shows them how engaged our membership is. If we sent out these call to actions and only had 2,500 people send emails, we wouldn't be taken seriously when we get up to Washington or when we work with staffers. But when they're, when some of these senators have received, the Florida senators have received, 15, 20,000 of those emails, it's, it lets them know that they need to be paying attention to this, and they also need to be walking the halls, talking to all the other senators on both sides of the aisle to say, listen, we've got a problem. This is going to help us significantly. I've had 15,000 of my constituents reach out. We need to take action on this right away. And they're doing that right now. And the more emails you get, the more emails they get, the more of a reminder it is for them to, this problem isn't going away. And, people are concerned on a daily basis about this.
Well, that's great. Well, I know that the people listening to this are deeply engaged and deeply interested in the problem and interested in a solution. So again, if you can just go to captainsforcleanwater.org and fill out this form. I'll also put it on our social media when this How To Tuesday comes out tomorrow, and we'll have that call to action link in the bio. And so if you're listening to this, please take a second and go there. Encourage others. Forward this to anyone who is a fisherman in Florida, somebody that likes bird watching, somebody that likes to vacation down there. Man, it is important to everyone in our entire country. So Daniel, thank you so much. Do you have anything else you want to tell us?
Well, again, it's mobile friendly. When we shopped around for the software, we tried to get the easiest to use, to where it'll show up fine on your iPhone, your Android, whatever you have. It gives you an option to review the message before you send it. It's a very nice, polite letter. It's not an aggressive one by any means. We're just letting people know what's going on down here and letting senators know how they can help. So it's super simple, super straightforward, and it's something that you can do right now, no matter where you're at in the country. And we need people outside Florida even more to be engaged with us.
Great. Well, I hope this helps. And I wish you guys all the very best. Daniel, thank you so much for all the work and time you're putting into this. Please pass on that to your entire staff and keep up the good fight, man.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Thank you for using your platform to spread the message.
You bet. Thanks, Daniel. We'll see you. And that's it for How To Tuesday this week. We'll see you next week. This one, super important. Please take action. See you next week.